Hello, Capricorn. There's a reason this message found you. Now take a slow breath with me, because the energy around you right now feels very specific, focused, intimate, almost like everything else fades into the background for a moment. And I want to speak to you directly when I say this. There is a connection forming around you that feels different from what you've known before. Not louder, not dramatic, but deeper. When I tune into your energy, I feel recognition. That quiet moment where your soul knows something before your mind catches up. You may already sense this person in subtle ways, a pull you can't explain, a calm that shows up when you think of them, a feeling of familiarity that doesn't come from history, but from resonance. This isn't about chasing love. It's about love finding you when you're finally ready to receive it fully. You've been through enough emotional cycles to know what doesn't work for you anymore. You've learned the difference between intensity and intimacy, between excitement and safety, between potential and presence. And because of that, the connection coming toward you feels grounded. This person doesn't come in to shake your world. They come in to steady it. That's why this feels like best and last love energy. Not because it's dramatic or consuming, but because it's real. There's something here about friendship first, about mutual respect, about laughter that feels easy, silence that feels comfortable, conversations that don't drain you, but nourish you. Have you noticed that your idea of love has changed recently? If so, let me know in the comments. That shift matters here, because the relationship energy around you now isn't about proving anything. It's not about fixing anyone. It's not about waiting for consistency. It's about choosing each other consciously. In tarot terms, this feels like the Lover's card paired with temperance, alignment, balance, two people meeting in the middle, not pulling each other off center. You may not fully see this coming because it doesn't arrive in chaos. It arrives in calm. And when you've lived through emotional ups and downs, calm can feel unfamiliar at first. But your body will recognize it. This person feels safe with you, and you feel safe with them. Not in a boring way, in a grounded way. Like you don't have to perform or protect yourself constantly. That safety is rare. And it's something both of you have been learning how to create within yourselves first. I'm sensing that this person has been through their own emotional lessons. They're not naive. They're not reckless with love. They've been disappointed before too. And because of that, they value depth over surface level attraction. They're serious, but gentle. They don't rush because they don't need to. They don't play games because they don't believe in them. And that's why this connection feels lasting. There's also something important here. This relationship doesn't complete you. It complements you. You're already whole when it enters your life. That's why it can be your last love. Not because you'll never grow or change, but because it grows with you. Have you felt yourself becoming more selective lately? Less willing to entertain emotional confusion? If yes, that's alignment. Because this person meets you at that level. They're not here to trigger your wounds. They're here to respect your healing. And that doesn't mean there won't be challenges. It means the challenges are faced together, not alone. I'm also picking up that this person sees you as a partner, not a project. They admire your independence, your self-awareness, your emotional intelligence. They don't want to control you. They want to walk beside you. That's a big difference from what you may have experienced before. Let me ask you something gently. Can you imagine being with someone who feels like your best friend and your safe place at the same time? If that image feels warm rather than overwhelming, that's confirmation, because this connection feels like ease. It doesn't drain you. It doesn't confuse you. It doesn't make you doubt yourself. It supports you. There's also an element of mutual growth here. You inspire each other, not through pressure, but through example. Being with this person encourages you to be more yourself, not less. And that's how you know it's aligned. This relationship energy also feels like it respects time. It doesn't rush milestones. It doesn't force labels prematurely. It allows things to unfold naturally. And yet, there's commitment beneath the surface. They're not here temporarily. They're thinking long term, even if they haven't said it out loud yet. And you're finally in a place where long term doesn't scare you. It feels possible. That's huge. Take a breath here. You don't need to look for this person. You don't need to analyze every interaction. This connection forms through authenticity, not effort. And as this energy continues to unfold, there's more coming through about how this relationship transforms you emotionally, not by changing who you are, but by allowing you to fully be who you've already become. Stay with this feeling, because this is only the beginning of the message that's opening for you. And as this connection continues to reveal itself, there's something deeper I want you to feel into. This relationship doesn't arrive to rescue you. It arrives to meet you. You're not coming together out of loneliness, fear, or urgency. You're coming together because two whole people recognize something familiar in each other, a shared frequency, a shared way of seeing the world. And that recognition is quiet but powerful. You may notice that with this person, you don't feel the need to explain yourself as much. You don't feel misunderstood. Even when you disagree, there's respect. Even when emotions come up, there's care. That's emotional safety. This person listens to understand, not to respond. They pay attention to the things you don't always say out loud. They notice when your energy shifts, when you need space, when you need closeness, and you do the same for them. That mutual awareness is what turns a relationship into a partnership. I'm sensing that for many of you, love in the past felt like effort, like proving your worth, like trying to be chosen again and again. You learned how to love deeply, but you didn't always feel met at the same depth. That changes here. This person doesn't make you chase clarity. They don't make you guess where you stand. Even if things unfold slowly, there's consistency. And consistency builds trust. In tarot energy, this feels like the Four of Wands evolving into the Ten of Cups. Celebration rooted in stability, happiness that comes from emotional alignment, not fantasy. This relationship feels like it supports your nervous system. You don't feel on edge. You don't feel like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You feel settled. That's rare when you've lived through emotional unpredictability. Have you noticed that your body relaxes around certain people more than others? If so, that awareness is guiding you here, because your body recognizes safety before your mind does. There's also something important about timing in this connection. It didn't come earlier because you weren't meant to meet this person as your old self. You had to grow into the version of you that knows your boundaries, your needs, your value. And they had their own journey too. This isn't two people healing each other's wounds. It's two people who've done enough healing to choose each other consciously. That's why this love feels like it could last. Not because it's perfect, but because it's honest. I'm also sensing that laughter plays a big role here. Lightness, playfulness, moments where you forget the heaviness you've carried before. This person brings out a softer, more relaxed side of you, and you do the same for them. That's what best love energy feels like. It doesn't consume your life. It enriches it. You still have your individuality, your dreams, your space, and that space is respected, not threatened. This person doesn't need to possess you to feel secure. They trust the connection. And you trust yourself enough now to choose someone who feels stable, not emotionally intense. Let me ask you something gently. Does the idea of calm love feel more attractive to you now than dramatic love ever did? If yes, that's a sign you're aligned with this energy. Because what's coming through strongly is this: you're done with lessons. You're ready for partnership. And partnership requires maturity, patience, and mutual effort. This relationship doesn't rush milestones, but it also doesn't avoid commitment. It grows naturally, and in that growth, commitment becomes obvious rather than forced. You won't have to ask where this is going. You'll feel it. I also feel that this connection supports your future self, your long-term goals, your vision of stability, home, and emotional fulfillment. This person doesn't distract you from your path. They walk alongside it, and that's why this love feels like it could be your last significant one. Not because nothing ever changes, but because it adapts as you do. You don't outgrow each other. You grow together. Take a slow breath here. Notice how your chest feels. Notice if there's a sense of warmth, ease, or recognition. That's not imagination. That's intuition. You don't need to rush toward this. You don't need to label it prematurely. You don't need to control how it unfolds. What's aligned doesn't require force. And the most important thing for you right now is to stay connected to yourself, stay honest about your needs, stay grounded in your worth, because this relationship responds to authenticity. If you try to shrink, perform, or overgive, it disrupts the balance. But when you show up as you are, it flows. This person loves the real you, not your potential, not your sacrifice. You. And that's why this connection feels different. I want to leave you with this reflection. If love didn't require you to prove yourself, to wait in confusion, or to abandon parts of who you are, how would it feel in your body? That feeling, that's the energy surrounding you now. You're not chasing love anymore. You're attracting resonance. And as this connection continues to unfold, trust that it's meeting you at the level you've worked so hard to reach. Stay open, stay grounded, and trust that when love feels peaceful, it doesn't mean it's lacking passion. It means it's rooted, and rooted love lasts. You're ready for it, and when it finds you, you won't recognize it by intensity. You'll recognize it by how safe you feel being yourself. That's how you know.